Hi guys, and welcome back to Food According to El Roca. But today I'm not really going to tell you about food. We're just gonna have breakfast, and I'm doing a mukbang. As you can see on the title, I'm going to be having a breakfast mukbang, and I'm going to relate and tell you the story of how I almost died yesterday. I went to some wilderness area and hiking there, and like I almost died, guys. Like I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. And when I got home, I cried my eyes out. My daughter was like panicked, and she was asking herself what was happening. Because as soon as I got home, it was like I was so thankful to God that I even made it home. I think the people who can understand this are the people that were there with me. So, guys, I'm going to be having this breakfast and I'm going to tell you what happened. And as you can see, my eyes are still red because even this morning when I woke up, I was sitting in bed and I was busy thinking about it. I was thinking about the whole thing, about what happened. And, I think I broke down again because the feelings that I felt yesterday, and I hope I'm not gonna cry during this video because I want to tell you the whole story without crying. Okay, first of all, let me show you my breakfast of what I'm going to be having. As you can see, I'm having some toast, um, bacon, poached eggs, some breakfast potatoes, tomato, avocado, just a simple breakfast. But I think I'm going to enjoy this to the fullest because this is actually the first meal that I'm having since Friday. Since like yesterday, I didn't eat anything. But you'll understand why after I told you the whole story, because like it was so terrible, right? So I'm just gonna have this breakfast while I relate this story to you guys. So let's just get into the story. So guys, before I tell you the story, let me first I want to show you pictures of the area that we were in, so that when I say certain things to you, you'll understand what I mean or what I'm talking about. I just want to I'm going to post some. I'm just going to show you first the area so that you can at least imagine what I'm telling you, what was happening. So I'm just gonna put the pictures and and maybe some of the videos that I managed to take before like everything went south. I'm just gonna show you some of the pictures and everything so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here are the pictures. So guys, like a friend of mine invited me and said, there's this hiking, event that's happening, so let's go, it's gonna be nice. And I said, yo, I've never been to hiking. I've never done that. Remember this, I am not a nature person. I'm a city girl. I love buildings. I love, I don't like nature things, like being out there in the wilderness, or I don't like such. But I will only go just, for the experience, to be with friends or something like that. But I'm not really a wilderness person. I'm not. I'm scared of bugs. I'm scared of snakes. So imagine when you go to such places, you might come across a snake or whatever. So I never go there. I never go to such places. And when she said hiking, I imagined. I don't know what I imagined, but I thought it was, I've seen people go hiking, and no, it wasn't in the wilderness. It was just hiking in, hiking. It's almost like man-made hiking, trails. And then that's what I thought, oh, no, great, we'll do this. I go to the gym, but I'm not like the fittest, at my fittest level or anything like that. So I thought, okay, 13 kilometers, but I mean, I can do this. My body can take it. I was ready. I thought, no, I'm ready emotionally. I'm ready physically. No, I can do this. And then I said, no, let's do this. And then I went, and I thought it's a good physical activity. And at the same time, I'm connecting with friends, I'm meeting people, nice. It was like perfect. So I decided, no, let's go, let's do this, my friend. And then we decided that we're gonna go. That was yesterday. Now, in the morning, everything was fine. Like, I'm telling you, we were excited. We woke up very early because we were supposed to start around like 6 a.m. Like the hiking will start, and they told us 13 kilometers, it will take 4 to 5 hours. So I thought by 12 o'clock midday we will be done. And in the morning she came here, we were excited, and I told myself I was gonna make some sandwiches, and then I'm gonna, we take snacks, we take water. I took everything that I thought I would need there. But the thing that I didn't do in the morning, because I was late waking up, then I didn't end up making the sandwiches. I didn't make sandwiches, which I regretted later. And I thought when we left here, when my friend got here, she said, no, we'll go to McDonald's and get some breakfast from McDonald's, and then we will be on our way because we were late already. So we left and went to where we're supposed to live with the other group. The other group was in another car, and I decided to take my car because I thought, if they don't leave earlier than we want to, I wanted to have the control of just leaving whenever I want to leave, you know. So I took my own car going there. Now, when we get to McDonald's, McDonald's is closed. We know McDonald's is 24 hours open. But I don't know what's wrong. Maybe because of the lockdown, the rules have changed, and they didn't, open in the morning. It was around 5, so they were not open yet. And I was like, yo. So we thought maybe we'll find some shops, as we went there along the way. And we found that the other shops are also closed. Like, everything was still closed. So anyway, I had some boiled eggs. Like, I boiled, at least I managed to boil maybe 3 eggs or so. Because we were 4 in the car, we were like 3, and then we shared amongst ourselves. I only had 1 boiled egg. That's what I had. And then otherwise I was having some snacks in my backpack. Anyway, I thought, I know I can handle this, it's fine. By 12 o'clock, we were going to go somewhere and find a place where we can have some lunch, after hiking, all of that. We even carried some changed clothes, we were going to change and refreshen up and, go to a place where we can have some lunch. Then we went there. Now, along the way, the roads, like when we started getting into the road that leads to the area. Now, the roads are very bad. It's a mountain. It's like mountains there. I never thought, when I saw those mountains, like when we were coming, like we were maybe 5 kilometers towards the area, we could see the mountains. But what I didn't think was that I was gonna be on top of that mountain. Like, those mountains were like, whoa, and they were like those mountains, like as you saw in the pictures. It's like the wilderness, like a real jungle. Like, I can even call it a jungle, the wilderness. Like, I don't even know, guys. Like, ke sekgwa. Like, sekgwa sela se serious. So, like, okay, I never thought we're gonna go up that mountain. I thought, maybe there were trails, at the bottom of the mountain and all that. And then, like, it was a real off-road experience. Like, firstly, it was a real off-road experience, because if my car couldn't handle off-road, I don't know what would have happened. I think we were gonna get stuck or something. but at least my car can switch to off-road. So it switched to off-road and was able to, maneuver there. And then we got there, we're excited, we get there, there's a big group. I think it was about maybe 50 people. Let's say it was 3 groups of 15 people. So they were dividing us into 3 groups, 15 in each group, and each and every one of us, of the groups, were assigned a guide. So a guide is someone that will be leading us through the jungle, because they know the rules, they work there, and they know what to do, what not to do, and everything. Now remember this, when we were about to approach the place, when we were coming, and then I noticed that the network was no longer working. We were no longer having cell phone service. So I decided to go back a little bit, and to while we were still there in the area where the network is starting to like leave. And then I decided, like, I left my daughter at home, she's 15. And then I thought, yo, let me send her messages, send her maybe contacts for emergency save. If she had an emergency situation, she can call those people. And then I sent her those numbers and made sure that the number, like, it went like on WhatsApp. And then when I saw that the messages, she got the messages, and then we went. And because I thought, if like, I'm one of those people that if I can't be contacted, I get nervous. Like, I always want to be able to reach people or be reached. I can't be in a place, it makes me nervous, it gives me anxiety already. I'm starting to have anxiety, because I'm thinking, yo, if I can't be reached, what if there's an emergency situation? Or I'm always thinking that way. So now I'm getting to this area, and I can see that cell phone service is like going. But I thought, maybe it's in the beginning, like Kopilukwa, there's a cell phone service. And we went in, and then we're excited, we take our backpacks, and then they give us snacks. I had my own snacks, but they gave us a banana and some apple and maybe peanuts. Was it peanuts? And sweets, 2 of sweets or something. Those were the snacks, and a bottle of water. But I made sure that I came with my cooler box. I had a lot of water in there, some vitamin water. Like, I was prepared. I thought, yo, I'm prepared. I'm ready. Now, here we are. We're working. Boom. We started working. Now they said, okay, each group is going to, like, the first group is going to leave, and then 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later, the second group is going to go. The third group will leave 15 minutes. So it's like 15 minutes difference between the groups leaving. So now I'm in the second group. The first group leaves. They go. There they go. I had a stick, guys. Like, I heard that, oh, you need to have a stick. And I thought, I took a broomstick from my house, that thing with for the broomstick. I took it, and I thought, oh, this is a good stick to walk with, it's fine. And then I had everything. I had, like, maybe I can say 3 liters of water. I had a big bottle that I could hang around my neck. Then I had 2 bottles in there and some vitamin water. So I was like sorted with water. And then I thought by 12 o'clock we'll be fine. And then, because remember this, we didn't eat anything. We just had one boiled egg, and we had some snacks. That's it. And I thought by 12 o'clock we'll be back. As these guys are telling us, they're telling us, no, it takes about 4 to 5 hours. We'll be back. Sorted, sharp. Then we go on our way. Guys, let me put some of the video that I took when we were starting the trails. Like, the place is beautiful. It's the wilderness. Like, people who love nature will definitely love it. But the experiences that we had, I think, like, yo, okay, here we are working now. I'll show you some of the, let me show you before I go on. Let me show you the video that I took of while we were starting the trail. I think we were about maybe 1 kilometer in, and everything was going smoothly. The surface was like still, like, level. Everything was going great.
Wabona some of these. Some of them they keep
But on the other hand, yeah, if you want to really keep this thing, I'll pay to see.
Hey guys, we go. As you fall. And then we, well, like I had that, you know, that thing, the Samsung Health. I think people who have Samsung will know what I'm talking about. The Samsung Health app, where it tells you how many how much calories you are burning and all that. So I put my app on so that I can be able to tell how many kilometers we're already in, and also how many calories I've burned, because I was like, actually, my reason for this was, you know, for exercise purposes. For me, it was all about that, because I'm not really into nature, so I was doing it for, you know, health purposes. Like, yo, you know what, I'm gonna take this 13-kilometer walk, and you know what, I'm burning calorie. That's my thought process, you know. And then, guys, I had a speaker on. As you could see in that thing that I posted now. So as you could see, I had this, you know, speaker. I was playing music on the speaker, having my stick. You know, I was having fun. It was fun, and people were also enjoying the music. Guys, I was trying to DJ even in the wilderness. Imagine that. I was trying to DJ. What the hell? Anyway, I had music on and everything was going great. People were enjoying the music in my group. They were, this is nice, and we were like enjoying the music. And then I think, I thought we were walking. We walked about 3 kilometers. I thought it was 3 kilometers, only to realize it was only 1.45 kilometers, because from how I was feeling, I was like, wow, maybe we've walked already like 5 kilometers or something. And then only to find that it was 1.45 kilometers. That app was busy telling me as we go along how many kilometers we have been walking. And then I was like, yo, here, now, as I'm feeling this way already. Like, guys, this was at some point during those 1.45 kilometers, it was, there was a steep area. It was really steep, ne? And when I say steep, okay, at that point it was just, you know, a little steep, but not too bad. So, guys, I was breathing heavy. I thought to myself, yo, it means I'm like really unfit. I thought I was fit. Okay, before lockdown, I think I was at least fit or something, ne? But after lockdown, like, I stayed a few months without going to the gym. I recently went back, ne? And I don't think I'm that fit yet. Yo, like, I was like, yo, I was breathing like my chest, like, guys. Okay, my chest was not dying literally, but I was breathing very heavy. And my legs, I was already feeling like I ran 10 kilometers. And I was like, yo, if I'm feeling this way and we're not even 2 kilometers in, now how am I gonna feel at 13? And I was like, Mara, if it's the same as this one, I can handle it, man. You know, you tell yourself, you hype yourself up. And I was like, and at some point I thought, why are you not turning back? I think you should turn back. I was talking to myself. I thought to myself, maybe I must just turn back, because, yo, what if this gets worse and you are already in there and you can't? And I thought, you know what, the guides, they told us, okay, cell phones don't work there. There's no service, cell phone service, but they had walkie talkies. So every guide in the group had a walkie talkie, so they can communicate with another group and they can communicate with their office. So I thought, oh, okay, now they can, you know, at least that made me feel better, you know. Then but I didn't turn. Like, I didn't listen to my, you know, inner voice. My inner voice was telling me, turn back, Jika, This thing of, hey, yo, you can do this. Yeah, you can hype yourself up. Yes, it's beautiful and all that. But sometimes listen to your inner voice. And at that point, I should have listened to my inner voice. I should have listened. But no, I didn't. My, that Tapura girl inside me said, no, let's go. You can do this. Just go. You can do this. And then I went. I went with her. And then while we were walking, guys, it was like, I think we were like 3 kilometers in. 3 kilometers. And when I tell you 3 kilometers, don't imagine 3 kilometers and say, oh, 3 kilometers is nothing. I felt like we have been walking for 20 kilometers. That 3 kilometers felt like 10 kilometers. No? And then, by the way, there are rocks. As you could see in that video that I posted earlier, there are big rocks. Now, first of all, you are scared not to sprain your ankle. You must be careful. You must, when you are busy walking, most of the time I couldn't record anything. I couldn't take pictures because I had to be careful of where I was walking because you could sprain your ankle. The road is like, and even there's big rocks in the road. Like, you have to look where you are stepping. And besides that, there are snakes there. Like, guys, I'm scared of snakes. Yeah? And I'm told there are snakes there. I'm told there are snakes there. So imagine how I was feeling. There are snakes. There could be a snake coming out of nowhere. Like, what? You don't, like, okay, fine. Anyway, I was looking down the whole time so that I can see if there's a snake or anything coming out of those woods, or if I step on. I didn't want to sprain my ankle or anything because I can see that actually this place, if I were to have an emergency, what's going to happen? Are they going to use that walkie-talkie to call something, a car or whatever? Because where we were at, I think only a chopper can pick you up there because it's only you can only walk on foot. A car can't come there. Like, there is no way. There is nowhere for a car to get there. Like, only a chopper maybe can pick you up. I'm thinking all those things, and I'm like, no, stop scaring yourself. Let's just go. And then my friend had her feet were giving up on her. Something was wrong with her toes. Like, she was feeling things. Her toes, I don't know, they were broken. Something was wrong with her feet. Now she starts feeling pain. Now I'm already feeling pain myself, but at least I was better. I was still able to just go. And when I check, it's about 4.5 kilometers or something like that. Hey, 3.5. We are at 3.5 kilometers. And I'm like, 3.5? How we've been working for so long? And it's only 3.5. And then she starts having pain. She can't walk. Now we start to slow down from the group. Ne? Some people in the group obviously are fitter than us, and some people in the group have been hiking for some time. So you can imagine that they are fit. They've done this before. Maybe not the same trails, but they've done this before. So they are better than us. So they walk faster than us. So they're working, and the guide is working with the group at the front. Okay, here we are. Now, we get at some point. Let me tell you what happened. At some point, we can't see anyone. The guide left with the group that was like walking faster than us. When we look at the back there, the group that was coming behind us, we didn't see them. They were like far behind us. The one that was in front of us was far ahead of us. And we didn't see them. We didn't hear any sound or see anyone. Now, at this point, we are deep into the wilderness. Like, when I say deep, well, we are within the wilderness. Like, at this point, you can't even turn back because I don't even remember how we got there. Like, like, I can't see the route. I only see the wilderness behind me, the wilderness in front of me, the wilderness on the side. There was only the wilderness, and then I realized that we were only four. It was my friend who was having problems with her feet. It was the organizer and the other guy who was left behind with us. So this guy was helping her. You know what? She even struggled to walk. She couldn't walk at some point. She couldn't like walk any further. And by that time, now we are descending, ne? And when I say descending, don't imagine like descending as well. Imagine descending like so, like we are going down a mountain, ne? We are going down a mountain, and there's rocks everywhere. While you are going down a mountain like this, a very steep, descent. And then we are like, okay, that's why I think she was having so much problems walking. And then I think, I can't leave my friend behind. But at least at this point, like, I realized that the descents were better for me, but the uphills were hard, were difficult and hard and all that. So, but she was having a problem with the descending. She couldn't walk. So the guy even borrowed his boots. Like, it was at the point where I thought to myself, and when we were coming in the car, we were busy telling just stories about of what we've heard before, about people got lost in that wilderness and they couldn't find them until midnight or whatever. So I imagined if we got lost, like, and then I didn't realize we were actually lost at that point, ne? And then, guys, we walked. There was no sound of a person. There was no sight of a person. I was angry at the guide. Why does this guy leave us behind, knowing we don't know anything about this area? We don't know anything about the wilderness, and he leaves us here. Now someone is injured here, and we don't even know, even to carry her. Like, it was, guys, I can't even explain. It was starting to get terrifying. At this point, I was not terrified yet, but it was starting to get terrifying. And I think we walked for about, was it 2 hours? 2 hours, no sight of a person, no sight of anything. We thought, is this even the right way? Are we even going the right way? We don't have a compass. We don't even know if we are going to west, south, east. We don't even know anything. We're just walking. We're just walking where we see a path. We just walk. And it's difficult and it's hot. Imagine the sun. By that time, the sun is really, really hot. Ne? I finished like a liter of my water. Now a liter is gone. And I'm like, we're still only 4.5 kilometers in. And then my water is already, like, I finished already a liter. And I'm like, as soon as I see one of the guides, now I'm thinking that as soon as I see one of the guides, I'm going to ask them if there's a shorter, like, double up. I don't know what you call it, short route. Yeah, double up. A short route to back to the camp, back to where we parked our cars. I wanted to get to where we parked our cars and I wanted to leave. I want to go home. By this point, I want to go home. I don't want anything. I want to go home. Now, especially if and I'm like, I'm thinking, maybe this one, even if she gets better, she mustn't tell them that she's better, so that they can take this case as an emergency, so that they can tell us, no, let's take you, so that they can implement whatever emergency like situations. I don't know how they do, if they have an emergency, what they do, like that protocol they use when they have an emergency. I wanted them to apply it, and I would go with her. I wanted to go, like I was enough already, because I felt afraid, but I was, relatively okay. Guys, we've eventually found the guide. Like, he turned back, he left some people at the river. I think it's a river kind of area with rocks, and it's a nice area. And then he went back to check us, and he found us when we were about to get there, and we were like, we hear voices, and we were like that time when I heard voices, I was like, thank God. Like, I prayed and I was like, thank God we found them. At least we are with the group. And then we found them. We sat at the lake. When I got to the lake, let me show you, I put my feet into the water. It's spring water, like it was Nice. We sat there and then we could breathe now. And we were sitting there, and my friend was being helped with. They put some bandages on her feet, on her toes, and everything. And then and then so that her feet can feel better, they wrapped her with some Voltaren, like everything, so that maybe her feet can feel better. Now she can't even put them into her sneakers. But anyway, she had to. She didn't have a choice. She can't walk with flip flops there. She would have had her feet even worse. So now we tell the guys that, you know what, guys, please, can we just go? We just want to, like, take us back to where we supposed, like, to the cars. Like, we don't want to do this anymore. And then they tell us, you must listen to this, ne? Now they tell us, oh, okay, no, a car cannot come and fetch you here, so we have to walk a little bit up so that we can get to where there's a route. A car can, like, drive on that route. So we have to go to that route, and then they will use their walkie-talkie to call the office to send the car to that route so that they can fetch us. At this point, I'm like excited and relieved, and I'm like, yo, no, that's good. We can get, yo, guys. And then the other group leaves now. Everyone leaves. Now they leave us there for a little bit, and then the guy that was supposed to take us to that route where a car can fetch us now comes. Now he tells us, no, it's like 5 minutes up. He says 5 minutes up, ne? And then we're thinking, oh, in 5 minutes we'll get there, sit and wait for the car and whatever. And can't they, all hell is about to break loose. Guys, yeah. Yo, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Yo, guys, okay, I'm sorry about that. Like, when we left there, like, now it's my friend, it's me, and it's the guide, right? Now this guy is telling us that, no, I think he told us, someone also told us that, no, there are people who died here. Like, they are telling us we are within the wilderness, ne? You are scared already, and they tell you there are people who died there. There are people who got lost, and maybe they found them later or whatever. I don't know what happened, but those people died. They died in the wilderness. Now they're telling you this. You are scared. You just want to get out of there, and they're telling you someone died there. Okay, sharp. Now we start walking up that hill. Now, when I say going up, like, the first steep ascent was, relatively better, good, Now, this was the devil steep. That what I would call the devil. Like, we were, like, I think, like this. Like, it's not, when I say going up, I don't mean going up. I mean going up. Like, you are literally, like, I could have walked with my hands and feet. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, ne? As we were going up, the guide and my friend walked faster than I could. I think I'm the unfittest among. Like, my friend was having a problem with descending, but going up, she was at least better, and her feet were better, so she could walk faster. Now they are walking, and I'm busy screaming from behind, and I'm telling them, please don't leave me, please don't, because, like, my body was giving up on me. I was like, yo, I was praying at that point. I was praying. I was, like, thinking, yo, my body mustn't give. Like, if there was a time that my body was supposed to push, this was the time. And then, please forgive me. Sometimes I get emotional when I think about it. Yo, that's why I didn't want anyone to call me yesterday to ask me what happened, because, or maybe I should have waited a few days to tell this story, because okay, now I start praying, and then I walk and pray, and then I'm like, yo, just God, please just make sure that my body can take this. Like, I need the strength to just go. I can't be left here, because I will be all alone, and in this place is scary, and a snake can come out of anywhere, out of nowhere. It can come out of these bushes, ne? And no one can rescue me. Like, I don't have cell phone service. I can't call anyone. I can't, like, you are helpless. Like, what, like, you don't get it. Like, I don't know if like, I was feeling helpless, ne? Usually I'm one of those people who can come up with anything. I call myself MacGyver, ne? If you know that show MacGyver, he could get himself out of anything. I can get myself out of anything. I will come up with something. I'm jack of all trades. That's how I see myself. Like, I'm jack of all trades. I can come out of anything, but I couldn't get myself out of that. It was like a total helpless situation. And then I was like, okay, let me keep walking. And then we walked, and then I was busy. I'm busy screaming at those ones up there, and I'm like, please don't leave me. Don't leave me, because I felt if they left me here, it was gonna get worse or something. And then I'm thinking, yo, they mustn't leave me. So I pushed my body. Like, I've never pushed my body like that. Like, I pushed it, like, it was, my body was giving up, but I pushed it. I was feeling hot. The sun was like really, really hot, ne? And then here is the backpack. I put a speaker in there. I don't even know why I did. Like, I was just going there to have fun. I regretted putting some of the things in there, but I thought I could have put more water, because I can see that I'm running out of water, and we are nowhere near where we're supposed to be. And then as we're busy working, the guide, I think those people are trained to just tell you lies so that you don't freak out on them, because he was trying to stay calm and telling us, you know what, I think put you should calm down. You see there, like, when we turn that corner, it's gonna get better. Like, it's gonna be flat. Let's keep walking so that we can get there. And then when we get there, and then we are like, no, we're gonna go to the river. So now at the river is where we get reception. Our walkie-talkies work when we are at the river. So let's just get to the river so that I can call the office to send a car to come and get us. So don't panic. And then I thought, okay, let me not panic. Let me not panic. That's all I could tell myself. And then I was like, push. I was talking to myself inside. I was like, push, Carol, push. Nah. And then we are going. And then at least we ended up getting to, I think it was about 2 hours later. 2 hours later. 2 hours later. We got to an area where at least we could hear the river. It's like the river was my salvation, like the salvation, the destiny, the destination, ne? And then I was like, yo, at least if we get to the river, and then we can get help. That's all I could think. And then I was like, yo, at least, and then at least, you know, when you already see the end of the tunnel, ne? You are able to push yourself from the inside further, because you're thinking, yo, I'm getting to that area, that place, that where I'm supposed to, like the end, you know, you thinking that. So at least that gave me the courage to just push further. You know, it helped me. Anyway, here we are, we walk. My friend is still struggling with her feet, but at least they are better. The guide is trying to help her, and I'm coming from behind. Like, yo, guys, we were only the three of us. The other groups, we can't even hear them. We don't even know where they are. They took a different route because it was longer. Because we said, no, we need a shortcut to get to, like, you understand. So anyway, we eventually get to the river. When I saw the river, I was like, yo, we have arrived. And then we get there. And then I'm going to also show you, let me put up a video of when we were sitting at the river. Now, at this point, at the river, The guide gets there. Now you must listen to this. Like when something breaks your spirit, ne, we are there, and I'm like, call the office now, like walkie talkie them so that they can come and fetch us, ne. And then he's like, he takes his walkie talkie, and he's like, he's looking for service. There's no service. Still, there's no service. And he's like, yo, this walkie talkie is not. But what I'm thinking is this guy will lie to us because how can you say at the river there's service? Maybe he was trying to motivate us to get there, but he knows there's no service there. And then I'm like, what? Like stand there. Like I'm asking him to stand at different areas, angles, or to try this. And he's doing that, but I think he's lying. I can see that this one is lying to us. Yeah. And then he says, there's no service. You know what? Let me go a little bit further up. And then when I get up there, I'll be able to call the office, and they'll come. They say, so what I'm gonna ask you, he tells me and my friend now, he says, you guys must sit here at the river. Do not move. This is the safest area. It's safe here. Do not go anywhere. Don't go up. Because if you go up with what I've seen at the back, like you guys are struggling. This one is struggling with her feet. You are struggling to walk uphill. So I think you guys must stay here at the river. A car will come and fetch you. I'm going to go up where I can at least get service. And then the car will come back for you. But do not move. And then I ask him, okay, we mustn't move sharp. Now, how long are you going to take to get the service or for a car to come and get us? How long is it going to take? And then he says, about 2 hours, half an hour. Yeah, 1.5 hours or 2 hours. And I'm like, oh, what? 2 hours or 1.5 hours? That's too long. And then he's like, no, about an hour. He changes. He says, no, about an hour. Because he could see maybe I'm starting to freak out or I'm about to freak. So he says, no, about an hour. He changes his story so that he can make me feel better. And I can see he's changing his story just to make me feel better. It's not true. I get. And then, okay, sharp. I'm like, okay, calm down, sit here and wait. By that time, my friend has already run out of water. I'm about to run out of water. Like maybe I was left with about 500 mils inside that big bottle. And the sun is hot. We are feeling dizzy. And I'm thinking, yo, my friend is starting to feel nauseous and dizzy. Like, hey, I'm like, yo. Like, what are we going to do if we collapse here? Like, we cannot collapse here. No? And we like that river also is a little scary. Like, things are like in the bushes, like you hear things like there's no sound of anything, only the bushes, the wild west. It was the wild wilderness. Ne? Ke kopela le boneng hore where am I ne? Ba ile ba re tlogela mo ke nna le mosima Shifale monna ole o ile wa guide re setse re le one hona mo go go ka tswelela selo ha re etse gore re tlo bereka jwang ka molo wa tsotsa ka re legaga a kere yeah. And then you hear something in the bushes like and then you don't know what the hell is that. You don't know if it's gonna come out of there or not. Ne? No one to call. From this side it's uphill. From this side it's uphill. And when I say uphill, I mean like so uphill. Not so like uphill. Ne? We are at that point, I think we're up at the bottom of the mountain. That's where the river is, ne? And then from there you have to go up the mountain, ne? I have to go up. So I'm thinking with what we are feeling already, the sun is hotter than it. Like it was around 2. We've been waiting for an hour, by the way, since the guard left. I'm sitting here for about an hour and a half and no one is coming, no guard is coming. Other groups, we don't know where they are. We are just sitting there and hoping that he will come. Ne? 2:30. And then we're like, yo. So my friend starts telling me, hey, what if we sit here until it gets dark and then no one comes? Like, if this guy can go for like so long without coming back, what if he never comes back? What if we stay here like those people, that the stories that we've heard of people dying there or of people getting lost in the wilderness? Ne? What if we end up like one of those cases? And I'm like, no, we can't. Like, they will come and fetch us. They can't just leave us. Like, do you think that guy, Unai Pulem Booth Kamo, like, I don't think he's that horrible to leave us here, you know? I think he will come and fetch us. Even if maybe they will take long, they might come and fetch us. I'm trying to calm myself down by that time. And me sitting there, and then we hear some people coming. It's the other group, and then the other group comes, and they're like, "Wow, you guys are still sitting here. We thought you were long gone." We were like, "Yo, we just walked up. We just experienced the worst, and now we are sitting here and thinking, yo, no, everyone has gone. Maybe like we thought you guys will get there before us, so, you know." And then we are sitting here waiting for a car, and they say, "Yo, now we're just gonna keep walking." But yo, guys, you know what? Where we've been, I think is worse than we've experienced. It was horrible. It was horrible. But we're gonna keep walking because we just want to get there and get this over and done with. And then the other group passes us, and they go. They continue walking uphill. We're sitting there, and some guy in one of the groups that passed us, they were like, some guy found us there, and when we told him we were waiting for a car, he's a big guy, so I think he was already experiencing muscle spasms and all that. And by the way, I also was experiencing muscle spasms while I was going up that hill. At some point, I was having a muscle pull, like muscle pulls, and muscle pull was the least of my problems, you know. And then this guy was experiencing muscle pulls everywhere. And then he's like, "Yo, guys, let me wait with you because I need that car to come. I can't walk any further." And they're telling us that this is steeper than every area that we've been to already. And then the guy sits with us, and I'm like, "Yo, at least there's a third person, you know? Like, at least we have someone else here." And then we're sitting there with him. And then another group comes, ne? And then this guy, I think it was now around 3:30. Now it's been 3 hours that we've been sitting there. And then this guy is like, "Hey, no, guys, what? Let's start walking." Like, people are starting to think, even my friend was like, "Yo, I think we must start walking with them because now, what if we sit here? It's already now 3:30. What if 4, 5, like, we don't know when if they are even coming. So let's say, I think we must just walk. Even if it's hard, we'll rest along the way. Ne? By that time, I feel like, oh, guys, I can't do this. Like, I felt like, no, I can't do this. Like, I can't do this. Ne? And then I had to pull something out of here. I pulled something. I got it. It was like, okay, you are going to have to do this. Ne? It's either you die here or you have to start walking. You start walking or you die. Like, that was the option. Ne? And then I'm like, okay, this body, ne, that God gave me is going to walk me up that hill. I don't know how, but it must just like put one foot in front of the other. Like, you know, those situations in life when you are about to give up on anything, ne? And then they tell you, just put one foot in front of the other. And then before you know it, you'll be there, ne? I think I experienced that. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put one foot in front of the other, and then if I'm tired, I stop. And then, guys, I had to, because everyone said they are leaving. Now I can't be left there alone. If I had a choice, I was gonna sit there and wait for the car, ne? And I'm thinking, what if it never comes? But I'm thinking, if someone got there before us, they will tell them those people are still waiting there, you know. And then I'm like, okay, my friend is saying we must go. She's starting to wear her shoes. Now she's going. The guy is leaving. Everyone is leaving. I can't stay here alone. And then I was like, oh, I have to. Then I take my backpack, I take everything. And then we start going uphill. And I thought, okay, maybe this uphill is the same as the other uphills or whatever. But this uphill, ne, was the most, I don't know whether to say dangerous uphill I have ever seen in my life. Ne? I've imagined the wilderness. I have imagined going uphill on a mountain or whatever, ne? But I never imagined it being this tough. Ne? It was tough. And tough was the least, I think, least of my problems. The scare, the fear that you have there, ne, was what I think drove me insane. And the fact that I couldn't reach anyone, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't go anywhere, I didn't know if there were still people coming behind us or not, or this was the last group or what. All I knew was that the car was not coming and we had to go. The guards do not care. It's their job. If they want, maybe the other one decided, oh, it's knockoff time, I'm just gonna go. Those ones, batlabalat. It's none of my business or something. I don't know. And then I'm like, yo, we have to walk. And then now, there were two ladies that were within that group, ne? So these ladies, at least they were walking slower. I don't know the names of those two ladies, ne? But I think we became best friends. I think I became best friends with those ladies. You know, you'll meet people, you don't know them, they don't know who you are, but it's like the human part of them just kicks in, and we are all humans and we just have to be there for each other or with each other. Ne? Those ladies, one of them was telling me, like, yo, I'm struggling to, like, I don't know if she has asthma or what, ne? But she was telling me, yo, I'm struggling to breathe or something, ne? While we were walking. Like that hill, like we were literally going up the mountain, ne? And we didn't have water. Like everyone now at this point doesn't have any water. And I realized that I haven't eaten. Maybe that's why I was so weak and I was feeling dizzy and all those things, ne? Because I didn't eat, and those ladies said they didn't eat either, and they were like the snacks. I couldn't even put anything out inside my mouth. Like I didn't want to eat anything at that point. What was in my bag? Like I just wanted to walk and get where the water. Like if I had more water, maybe that would have made me feel better, because I thought I was going to collapse. I felt like I'm going to collapse now. I've never collapsed in my life, ne? But I felt like, yo, I'm going to collapse because it was too much. So now, okay, my friend is like, because she walks faster, she disappears now. Now it was only me and those two ladies. I think I must even find them and take them to lunch, ne? Because I think they were there for me. I'm going to find those ladies and I'm gonna take them to lunch, and I want to thank them, ne, for being there for me, because yo, it was tough. I could see that they were also having, it was tough for them, ne? But they didn't give up on me. The things that I experienced on that last, I think the last route, when I was with those two ladies, like it was only the three of us left now, and no one was coming to rescue us, and it was hard for us to walk up that hill, and we were thirsty, we were hungry, we were weak, we were everything that you can think of. We were scared, ne? And some of the ladies that have passed us, like they said, they came across a snake, and we were scared because of that. We didn't know what would come out, and like at this point, that last route, ne, there were, like, it was very narrow, and then on the sides there's just, like, you don't know what's, when you hear shuk, 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 shuk inside there, you don't know what's gonna come out, or if it's gonna come out or whatever, ne? And then I imagined an episode of Lost and Afraid. If you've seen Lost and Afraid, ne, in the jungle, that was Lost and Afraid. It was an episode of Lost and Afraid, ne? And then anyway, I start praying, because those ladies were, at some point, they were walking, they were like maybe about a few meters, in front of me, and I was behind. I was behind because I was the one who, the weakest. I was the weakest one because I was feeling so dizzy. At least they had food, a little bit of food or whatever, before they came there. So they were weak, but at least they could, manage. And then I was like, yo, at some point I was standing there, I was like, yo, I can't do this. And they were like, you can do it, just come. We won't leave you here. Let's come with us. They told me they were not going to leave me there. I thought I wasn't gonna cry doing this, but yo, those emotions are still raw, hey? But anyway, we walked, and at some point I felt like, okay, I'm going to collapse. Like I felt my I felt my body doing something that I've never experienced before. Like I was about to collapse, guys. I was dizzy. I started seeing stars. I started seeing, yo, okay. Now I'm like, I tell those ladies, and then I tell them, guys, please, can I tell you something? Ne? I'm like, please, ne, if I collapse, please don't leave me here because I don't know who's gonna find me or if I'm gonna be found. Please don't leave me. I asked them, please don't leave me here. If I collapse, please stay with me until help comes. Ne? And then those ladies were like, no, we're not gonna leave you here. Don't be like, we're not gonna leave you here. Like those ladies don't know who I am. I don't know who they are. Ne? But they said they're not gonna leave me there. And they waited for me. They said, you know what, even if we walk 1 minute and stop, 1 minute and stop, at least we are making progress. Because if it gets dark, this place is scary already while the sun is shining. Like if it gets dark, we don't know what's gonna happen. And they also told us there's some wildlife in there, so we don't know if the wildlife is there. And those guards were telling us, do not leave, do not leave. They told us to stay there, ne? So because they told us to stay there by the river, and we left the river and we were busy walking up, we don't know why they said we must stay there, ne? Now we are walking, we don't know, like it's like a wildlife can come out of nowhere. We don't know what's gonna happen. That's why they said, don't leave the river, stay, this is the safest area, don't leave the river. Anyway, we're busy walking, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. And then I started praying, guys. Like I've never prayed so much in my life. I prayed. I literally begged God that please, if I'm going to die, this is not going to be where I'm gonna die. Let it not be where I'm gonna die. Like it sounds so dramatic, ne? It sounds like I'm making this dramatic or something, ne? But in those moments, I thought I was the only one who was experiencing what I was experiencing at that point. I thought maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe I'm being, I'm unfit and dramatic. And to hear what those ladies were saying, at that point, I couldn't take videos. If I could, I would have, so that you can hear what they were saying. They were, at least they were trying to push us, but you could hear that they were also experiencing what I was experiencing. It was tough. And then at some point, while I'm busy praying and walking and praying and walking, now at this point it was around 4. I think it was around 4 or 4:30. I don't even remember. And then I hear one of the ladies saying, there's a car coming. That moment, I just broke down. I broke down. I cried so much. Like I was like, yo, help, finally. Help, finally. A car was coming for us. A car was coming for us. And okay, fine. They managed to pick up my friend up there somewhere where they found her and 2 other ladies, and they were coming. We got into that car, and I must tell you, that was the greatest moment of my life. Like like I can't even explain it. Like the feeling of relief. Like I've never been so relieved in my life. I don't know if because we are scared of dying or what, ne? But it was the scariest moment. It was the I was so relieved, guys. Yo, I was relieved. I thought, yo, my kids are going to bury me. They're going to find me in the wilderness. That their mother died in the wilderness. Like I couldn't face that. I thought, no. I have to get out of here. Like I made a bargain with God that God, please, like, just get me out of this one. Like, I beg you to get me out of this one, and then I will never put myself in such a situation again. You know that experience, ne? It was, it's bittersweet, ne? Because I was good. I experienced things within myself. That thing of being so scared and helpless, ne? And feeling so weak. I was at the weakest I've ever been. And I think it was a bittersweet, because the bitter part was what could have happened. What could have happened? Because now I'm able to tell the story, which means whatever could have happened didn't happen. But at that point, you're thinking, what if it happens? And it scares you even further. And then at the same time, I think I pulled things out of myself that I never knew I had, or that they existed, or whatever. I thought, okay, let me push. Like, I pushed myself like I've never pushed myself before in my life. Like, all the years that I've been alive, ne, I have never pushed myself so much like I did yesterday. And I'm thankful that it showed me that I can push further than the limits that I think I have. You can push yourself further than you think you can, and you can handle more than what you think you can, as long as you keep pushing. When someone says keep pushing, don't take it lightly, né? Because what I experienced yesterday, I think I will apply in my life, that I will never give up on any situation. I will always push further than I think I can push, because sometimes we set limits within our brains, ne? We set limits and say, no, now I can push up to here. I can't, ne? But yesterday I realized that I can push further than I could. And let me tell you, at some point I thought, okay, the way my body was so weak, I thought if a snake came out, I'm scared of snakes, and probably if a snake came out, I would run like I've never ran. But I think yesterday I wouldn't have run. My body wouldn't have allowed me to run. Ne? I couldn't run. I was going to fight the snake. I was going to fight it with my bare hands because of how I was feeling. Because I was not going to run. I couldn't run. There was no way to run. So I was going to fight the snake with my bare hands. Ne? So that thing showed me that as much as you can be afraid of something, you can be pushed to that limit where you will be brave beyond what you think you can. Because I was brave, but I was scared. I was brave and I was scared. Or maybe I didn't have a choice but to be brave. I was left with no choice but to be brave. So guys, this is my story, and all I could, like, when we left the place and got to where the car was, we didn't take even 5 minutes. I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to get home. I wanted to get to the house, because I couldn't break down in front of those people, because I don't know them, the people that we were with. As much as we connected, I felt like, no, I can't break down here. I have to still drive back home. So I thought, you know what, I want to get home. All I want is to get home and see my daughter, and I will break down when I get home. And when I got here, all I could do, like, when I saw my daughter, I just hugged her, and then I broke down. And at that point, she didn't understand what was happening. She thought, what was happening? She asked me, and I couldn't. I just went to the shower, and I broke down. I broke the hell down. But anyway, I just wanted to sleep. I took a shower. I was dirty. I was smelly. I was, like, at some point I was sitting somewhere. I don't know, like, it was dirty. I didn't care. I didn't care about that. I was dirty. I was smelly. I was hungry. I was tired. I was weak. My feet were like shaking, and I just wanted to get home. I drove, and even when I was driving back home, my feet I thought, yo, can I even step on the brake pedal or something, because I was shaking. My feet were still shaking, and I realized that the people that I was driving back with, they were relating their stories and saying, yo, guys, that was the scariest moment of my life. That was I realized that everyone who was there experienced what I was experiencing. Like, it wasn't only me. Everyone was in their own bubble experiencing what they were experiencing. But every single story was as scary as it was. And I managed to get home safe, took a shower, and I decided to go to bed, and I slept. And when I woke up in the morning, I was thinking about what happened yesterday. And I also, at that point, prayed and thanked God for getting me out of that, and for me being safe in my bed. Ne? And I will never do it again. I will never go back there. Like, I promise you, I will never go back there. But I'm grateful for the experience. Ne? I'm grateful for the experience, but I will never go back. Never. 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 Never again. Never. I mean it. Never. So, guys, let me just finish my breakfast and calm down and relax, because today I'm staying in bed the whole day because my body is very sore. I'm sore everywhere. Even places that I never thought can get sore are sore. So I'm just gonna stay in bed and relax today. That's what I'm gonna do. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy your Sunday, and I hope you can learn something from the story that I've just told you, and you can even apply it in your life. But all I can say when I'm finishing this story is, guys, even when you think you can't push further, ne? Push further. You can make it. I made it. Push further. You will make it. Believe me. Bye.